Do you have a pile of scraps like this in your stash? How about putting them in a quilt? I can help with that. Hi, it's Fran Morgan with Fabric Café. As quilters, we accumulate a lot of fabric scraps. You don't want to just throw these tiny treasures away, but it can feel overwhelming to find projects for them. Today, we're going to take a closer look at how to sort these scraps and make a beautiful scrap plan for a quilt. Let's get started. Now, the first step in a successful scrap quilt is to sort your scraps. And you know, this is kind of fun too, because what I would do is just dump them all out on the table or the floor. Then we're going to start sorting into piles. Now, we're going to sort into large scale prints, light valued fabrics, and then dark valued fabrics. Those are our three piles. Our large scale prints, they can be on a light, medium, or a dark background, but they're usually very large scale prints. For instance, this one here is a larger scale print. Now, these prints are usually used for the fabric number 1, which we also often call the focus fabric. Now, our light valued prints. These prints usually have a lighter value and they are not as bold. They're the ones that are going to fall to the background. So compared to our other fabrics, these are the lightest value. They play the supporting role in the quilt. They create contrast and visual depth so your quilt doesn't go flat. We're going to separate all these out. This is usually called fabric number 2 in our patterns. Now, our dark valued fabrics, things like this and maybe this. These are the ones that are darker. They can still have just a little bit of a print. These fabrics add the pop to our quilt, our anchor, our wowzer, our fun. We usually use these in our fabric number 3 position. We have a free handout that spells this out and explains it thoroughly. So if you just go to fabriccafe.com, check out our free goodies tab. This is a great thing for you to print out and keep handy in your sewing room so that as you bust those fabric scraps, you know exactly what you need to do. All right, let's start sorting this pile. All right, you know, the fun part is just dumping them all out and going, wow, look at all these fun treasures. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start making some piles of our fabric 1s, 2s, and 3s. Now, this one here, I believe is a larger scale print. I'm gonna put it in my fabric 1 pile. This one looks like it is a fabric 2. Now, as you notice, some of my scraps are a little bit bigger than others. I'm gonna have all different sizes. That's okay. Looks like a number 2. This one here, I think is a darker value. So remember, when you compare it to your fabric 2 pile, it is dark. It goes into my fabric 3 pile. Here's another one. This one looks like a fabric 3. Great, I love it. All right, here's one here that is just a little bit of a strip. Now, I'm gonna consider this a focus fabric. And I'm gonna kind of set it and make 2 different little pile here, my bigger pieces and then my strips and my smaller pieces. So I'm gonna keep going through. This one here, I say, is a focus fabric. It's a little bit smaller there. You know what? Looky here. These are some leftover strips that I didn't use on a project, and it's a strip, but I think it's a number 3, so I'm gonna do that same thing. Different size, but these are gonna come in really handy, and we're gonna be able to use those, so they're gonna go in my number 3 pile. Looky here, here's a small one. I would say that's a number 2 because it's definitely a light. So we're gonna put it here. It's a smaller piece. These are my bigger pieces. So my 3 piles are each divided into bigger pieces and smaller pieces. And oh my goodness, look what we have here. We have some binding strips, just the ends of it. This is the little bit left over that I didn't need to finish my quilt because I had plenty. Now for these, I usually just keep a basket behind my sewing machine, toss these into the basket so they're already separated out. But what's cool about this, I can sew these end to end. Their binding's already pressed, already cut. Then I can use this in a scrap quilt and keep that charming look going. So easy. I'm gonna keep sorting all this, and then we're gonna take the next step, which is picking your pattern. So we have all of our scraps sorted, and the next step is to pick our pattern. We have lots of big pieces and our smaller pieces separated out for each stack. We're going to pick our pattern, and I'm going to use the book Make It Scrappy with 3-Yard Quilts. This is a great book too because the patterns are written just to use your scraps, and there's 8 different patterns to choose from. So let's flip through and look at these patterns and see which ones we like and which ones we think will work best with the scraps that we have. So I'm looking at Echo here, and it does use some squares, but you know, they're not too big. And I do think I have enough scraps that I could cut those squares. But what I also like about this pattern is we have some blocks that are bordered with our fabric number 2 and our fabric number 3 with strips. And I have plenty of strips that I could use up for this. Or I could definitely cut strips from our bigger pieces too. So that is definitely an option. Now the next one that I'm looking at is Flare. This one uses a little bit smaller square, so I could use up some of the smaller pieces that I have. However, there's not a lot of strips used in this particular design. I think I want to use up some of those strips too. So the next one, let's look at the Twirl pattern. Now this one uses a little bit smaller square and smaller squares for half square triangles. So definitely could use some of the big pieces for the bigger blocks, and then I could use up some of my strips and cut squares from those for my half square triangles. I also like this because I really like that the focus block, the fabric number 1, has a little bit bigger section to really show off some of these pretty focus fabrics that I have. And I find it really appealing to work with. I like this pattern a lot. So now that we've picked our pattern, it's time to pull the fabrics we want to use for it. Now step 3 is selecting our fabrics from the piles to make our quilt. Now if you look at the wall behind me, you can see a scrappy version of the Twirl pattern that I made. So let's get started pulling our fabric so you can get a good idea on how to make your own. So I'm going to have my pattern open with the book here in front of me. I'm going to scoot my 2 and 3 pile over and focus on my focus fabric here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the biggest pieces that I need, and that is the center part of the block, and I'm going to choose those. I have 12 of those that I need to pull. So I'm going to start going through these and kind of thinking about the direction that I want to go. Those are all really looking nice, but I really like this colorway too. This one's a little bold, probably not going to do that one. This one kind of has that same earthy feel. Ooh, I love this. This has a little bit of metallic on it. This one has a little bit of metallic on it. I think those colors go really nice together too. This one's a little more earthy. This one doesn't quite blend with either one. This has a little metallic on it, but it kind of goes dark. Oh, this one's pretty. Oh, I like that with that. That would be a nice center block, so we're going to do that one. You know, that one's kind of pretty. That one could go. Let's see if that one would work. Ooh, I like this with the blues and the jades. You know, maybe this one goes a little dark. I kind of like this kind of colorway we're going here. I almost think this one's too plain, but it could be a maybe. I might come back to that. This one's holiday. I think I'll skip that one. This one with the reds, I don't think it really goes with my teals and greens here. However, I am going to stray a little bit. I kind of like this one too because it has some metallic on it, and it has some of those aquas and some of the flowers that pick it up, so I think that's nice. Let's see here. This one, oh, that would balance this one really well. So if I kind of put them in different places, this could be a heavy, yep, I think that's really nice. These birds are nice, but it doesn't really go holiday. Okay, I don't think that quite goes. So let's look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think what this means is I could probably cut 2 of the centers out of each piece as long as they are big enough. So I'm going to just kind of keep my quilting square next to me and just kind of hold this up. Yep, that's big enough. This would definitely work. It is wide enough. So just a quick check to make sure they're big enough. That one definitely. Oh, look at this one. perfect. So just a quick check of all of these to make sure that they'll work and they're wide enough. And as you can see, my scraps are all over the place. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and they're gonna work. So these are gonna be my centers. Also, for fabric number 1, I'm going to need to pull some smaller pieces for half square triangles. So I'm gonna look through this stack of my smaller pieces and see if any of these would blend well. And you know what's interesting, I have pulled these 2 darker ones. Let me pull these and separate these out. This darker one could work really well for the half square triangles on those blocks. Even though it's holiday themed, I think it's gonna fall to the background. I like it because it has some metallic on it as well. So I'm gonna keep this for some of my half square triangles. Now this one's gorgeous. This one could work for my smaller pieces, but this looks really narrow. Let me just double check it and see if this would be big enough. That one's not gonna be quite big enough, so I'm not gonna be able to use it. Here's a bigger, wider piece. That'll work. I'm gonna use this for some of my half square triangles. See, I think, doesn't it look gorgeous? You see the color theme coming together? Now this one, oh goodness, these are really narrow. I don't think I have anything that can be cut from this. Just checking that pattern. Just a little too narrow for what I'm needing, so that's not gonna work. Now this could be interesting with some of my blacks too. And I think it's wide enough. Yep, so that could work. You know, it's a little piece, but it's such a treasure, and I'm gonna keep it for those half square triangles. This one goes a little bit different genre and colorway, so I'm not gonna keep that one. And I feel the same with that. Not quite what I need. Okay, so this is what I think I'm gonna be able to make my larger squares with. I'm going to use these for my smaller squares that I'm gonna make half square triangles. And any of this that is left over, I can use that for half square triangles as well. So this kind of built my color theme and my color story, which I kind of like. I mean, it's so random how your scraps go together because, you know, you bought them all and you chose them, so they're gonna work. So it's very fun. So here's this. We're gonna set this aside and we're gonna go through the exact same process for our number 2 and our number 3 fabrics. I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye on the measurements here of what we need, and I'm going to look through them and start pulling them. Okay, we have pulled our fabrics and I have a lot of things that I think look really nice together. Some element kind of blends with each of the other. So we have our fabric plan, we have our pattern plan. Now it's time to start making the quilt. Now we're at step 4, which is cutting. Now I like to cut everything out at one time, especially if you're incorporating a 1-yard piece in with your scraps. This will streamline your cutting and just make it go a lot smoother. Now, one more tip that I would recommend is always start with your favorite fabrics first. So for instance, you see that I have way more 2s and 3s that I'm probably gonna need. I'm gonna pull out those favorites that go with my focus fabric, cut those first, and I may not even need any of these other ones. But of course it applies to focus too. Pick your focus fabrics that you love the most and cut those first, cut everything you can out of those. Now I just follow my cutting instructions in my pattern and label everything as I go, including my borders and binding. So when you're making a scrap quilt and you're using multiple size squares from the same fabric, always start with your largest squares first and work your way down. For our twirl pattern, we have those larger center squares. I'm going to cut all of those first, and then I'm going to cut my half square triangle squares and go down from there. The other reason why this is important is because I did pull some scraps that were smaller that won't work for our bigger squares. So as I cut those squares, and if that's all I need, then I can go use these for some of my half square triangles. Also, remember that you can always cut down those bigger pieces to be smaller, and you can also sew those smaller pieces together to make it bigger so that you can really use every single bit of your scraps and bust that stash totally. Now, once you're done cutting the pieces for the blocks, you can use whatever is left over, cut it into strips for your border. If you'll notice on the twirl pattern behind me, I actually used up all of my little bits of my focus fabric, sewed them end to end, even though they were short pieces, to make that border. It worked perfectly, and I love the way it made a scrappy border. Now, step 5 is quilt assembly, and this is where it really starts getting excited because you're seeing it all come together. Now, I recommend making the quilts a block at a time. When I made my twirl, I sorted my pieces and my colors out so I could see what color combinations were in each block. Once I had my half square triangles made, I checked again and I laid them out to make sure that I liked them all. Once I got all of my blocks done, I started organizing and laying out each block in the position that I wanted it in the quilt. Didn't want 2 of the jade green twirls together or 2 of this together. I kind of balanced it, and I just love the scrappy version of it. I really think it was fun. My biggest advice to you is just to enjoy the process, put your color sense together because you have it, and have a great time, and you are going to have a great finished scrappy quilt. Now, I want to share some other scrap quilts from our book, Make It Scrappy with 3-Yard Quilts, to give you some extra inspiration and tips. This is our flare pattern. It uses a friendship star block in a great way. You can use dark valued fabrics for all of those half square triangles and use up a bunch of small scraps. Now, you know when you make a half square triangle, one square, when you sew it together, actually makes 2 half square triangles. It's gonna really use up all those scraps, and it's gonna put just a smidge of continuity with your friendship stars. Or you could have every single point on the star be a different scrap. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. So it is a great way to use them up. Now, this one is our jumbo pattern. I really like this one for scraps because you can use directional scraps in your block A and really in your block B as well. So here you can see that we have a large scale print in the center of our block A, but you can also use a large scale print in the center of block B if you wanted to. We have a light in there. You could use a bunch of different lights in there if you've got a lot of extra of those. Now, if you're feeling a little unsure about what colors complement each other and how to match your fabric, we have a great resource for you in the front of the book, Make It Scrappy. We have tips on matching color with a color wheel and swatch examples. Biggest thing to remember is at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is that you like the quilt. If you are making a scrap quilt but need a small bit of a specific color to add to what you have, then be sure to check out our end of bolt section. These are nice sized pieces of fabric that are all under $1 yard. They are the perfect thing when you need just a little extra fabric for a border or binding. Or if you would like to really challenge yourself, we have a mystery fabric scrap bag. Each bag includes 6 different fabrics, all selected at random, which adds to the surprise. Now, both of these options are a great economical way to add to your scrap quilts. You can find both the end of bolts and the mystery scrap bags at fabriccafe.com under the fabric tab. Now, Hannah and I took on the mystery fabric scrap bag challenge, and we had a lot of fun doing it. If you would like to see how our quilts turned out, then be sure to watch the video that pops up next. Happy scrap quilting!